Hi everyone, I'm Miss Vinise and welcome to another Preschoolers Explore STEM program. Do you guys remember what STEM stands for? Most likely, but in case you forgot, let's go over it one more time. S is for science, T is for technology, E is for engineering, and M is for mathematics. Very cool. Well, we've been doing a lot of the S for science, so let's move over a letter and do a technology project today. What is technology? Well, technology is the use of knowledge to make or invent new tools or devices. People throughout history have been making and creating new devices, technology, to make our lives easier and more interesting and more fulfilling. So today, the technology we're going to learn about is circuits. So using the knowledge that scientists have gained about electricity and atoms, we can use all of that knowledge to create the technology of a circuit. But before we get started, let's check our circuit kit that you should have gotten from the Pittsford Community Library. If you haven't done so yet, just come right into the library during our open hours, go into the children's room and pick up the kit. So in our Circuit Star kit, there is a set of instructions as usual. We have a blank piece of cardstock, and you should have one other piece of cardstock that has some star templates on it. Each kit will also come with a little bag. And in each bag is a roll of copper tape, 2 lithium 3-volt batteries. Now this is very important. Lithium 3-volt batteries, they're safe to go ahead and touch and to make circuits with, but they are very dangerous to eat or swallow. We're old enough to know we don't put batteries in our mouth, but sometimes little baby brothers or sisters might not know better. So if you have a baby brother or sister, make sure that this battery stays out of their reach. We have to keep those little ones safe. And in each bag, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 LED lights. So let's get started making our circuits. But before we can make our circuit stars, we're going to need a few things from home. You're going to need to find a pair of scissors and some clear tape. It can be Scotch tape or just some packing tape. Clear tape works best for this. All right, and I'm going to move this camera a little bit closer so you guys can really see what I'm doing when I'm creating the circuit. So, be right back. All right, welcome back. Much closer, and hopefully you guys will be able to see what I'm doing right here on this table a little bit easier than when you were so far back away. Before we start creating our circuits, you guys each should have gotten 4 LED lights in your kit. They may be different colors than my lights, but there should be 4 different ones, and 2 batteries. Let's open one of those batteries up. It looks like a small coin, almost the size of a nickel. The interesting thing about batteries is that there's a positive and a negative side. For these batteries, the negative side is the side without any writing. It kind of has this little funny pattern on it that almost looks like little dots. The positive side of our battery has a little plus sign. You can't see the plus sign from here, but you'll be able to see it when you look at it. It's also much smoother and it looks like a mirror, so I can kind of see myself in the positive side. And the negative side, it looks a little bit blurrier because of those little dots. To test our LED lights, we're going to have to put our positive side of the light on the positive side of the battery And how can you tell which is positive and negative on the LED lights? This is very tricky. So each LED light has 2 legs or pins. There is a slightly longer pin and a slightly shorter pin. The shorter pin is the negative. The longer pin is the positive. But don't worry, if you don't get it right first try, you'll notice because your light won't work. So I'm going to put the long pin, which is the positive pin, on the positive smooth side of the battery, and I'm going to put the negative pin on the negative side of the battery, just kind of almost like this. Oh, this one works. And I'm holding my fingers to keep it in contact with the battery. Now, if I had done it the other side, on the wrong sides, it just won't work. So if your light doesn't light up immediately, just turn it around and try again. So the red works. My white light works. Let's see, this one I need to open a little bit more. The long pin, short pin, my blue light works. And finally, let's make sure the yellowish orange light works. Perfect. Now that we know that our batteries and lights work, let's start creating that circuit. We're going to create a circuit in the shape of a star. So, get out your sheet that looks like this. It's a star circuit sheet. Get your copper tape and very carefully get the little clip off the tape. You can ask your parents for help getting the clip off. And we have some copper tape. The copper tape is like one really long sticker. So on one side of the tape is kind of this white backing, almost like a sticker, and the other side is our copper tape. We're not going to take off the white side just yet. First, we are going to measure out each line on our star and cut out a piece of tape that matches that size. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to put my tape right here to this edge right here, and I'm going to make a cut. Perfect. And now I have a piece of copper tape that is the same length as that one line. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lines. So I have to cut out 10 pieces of tape. And even though this is a star, the lines up here at the very top, they're going to be shorter than all the other lines. So we're going to want to make sure that we measure out the tape just the same way I did. So I'm going to put it next to my sheet, and then I'm going to go ahead and snip it. And it's okay if the ones that are on these sides are a little bit longer, but we're going to want to make sure we get a really accurate length on these 2 little ones. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out all 10 pieces of my star. I already got that one, and I got this one. And while I'm cutting out my tape, and I'm not taking off the whites backing just yet, I'm going to let you guys in about circuits and electricity. So a circuit is a complete path around which electricity can flow through. Materials that allow electric currents to pass through them easily are called conductors. And conductors can be used to link the positive and negative ends of a battery. So, in a much longer battery, the positive end usually has like a little bump and the negative end is just totally flat. On our batteries, the positive end is this really smooth side and the negative end is the slightly bumpier side. So, in creating a circuit, we are going to make a path that flows all the way from the negative side of a battery to the positive side of a battery. In an open or broken circuit, there's a break along the line and then the current stops. So we won't be able to actually turn on our light if we have a broken circuit. We're going to want a closed full circuit. So electricity is electrons moving around, and electrons move much easier through metal than things like plastic or rubber. So when we're creating a circuit, we're going to use our copper tape, which is made of metal. That's our conductor. So inside electrical cords, which you're not going to want to open up because that's very dangerous, but inside an electrical cord, there is a metal wire. That's the conductor that's taking the flow of electricity back and forth. But to keep us safe, because the current from an electrical outlet or an electric cord is much stronger than a tiny 3-volt battery, to keep us safe, they put a plastic coating or rubber coating, that's what's on the outside of the cord, so that way the electricity stays contained and doesn't accidentally electrocute us. Well, I think I have all of my pieces for the star cut out. And I'm going to put my tape here. I'm going to go ahead and match up my pieces without taking off the white backings of the copper tape to just ensure I have all 10 pieces cut. These tinier pieces are going to be for my top. Let's see. Oh, I had one extra actually, so I'll just put that aside so I don't get it confused with the others. And now I have almost a full star. We're going to go ahead and tape down the copper tape now. And the way to do that is you carefully peel off the back. Now, you want to do this very slowly because it's very thin tape, and if you pull it off too fast, it curls around itself and then it gets all sticky. So I'm going to start with the blue circle line, and I'm going to place my tape right over the arrow line, just like that. I'm going to make sure that all of my corners and tips of each of my stars, except for this one right here, are touching. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and get this all taped down, and then I'll show you exactly what it looks like. All right, so I taped my copper tape pieces over my arrowed lines, as you can see, except for this yellow line. We're going to keep that blank right now. I made sure that there was about a 1/2 inch space in between my top 2 lines. And uh-oh, I don't know if you guys can see this, I'll move it in closer. My tape ripped on that line. I don't think this is going to make a very good circuit if the flow of electricity can't make it all the way around, because it will stop right here. So if you have a little tear or rip or a little space in your star, you can go ahead and grab some extra copper tape. There should be plenty. And you can just take a small piece and kind of patch it up. I'm going to patch up my star so that there is a solid line of copper going from here to here to here to here to here. This is my space, here, 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 and this is the last piece of copper tape that we're not going to put on just yet, because first I want to put the battery on. So we're going to want the negative side of the battery to be face down on this blue circle. The way you can tell that it's negative down and positive up is if you see words. If you can't see any words on your battery, that means you need to flip it around the other way. Now you're probably thinking, well, this battery is just going to keep flying off. Should I tape it down? We're going to do that right now, but we're going to do it by using our last piece of copper tape. So carefully, just like all the other lines, peel your copper tape away from the white backing. Slowly, so it doesn't get too curly. And, oh, mine still got really curly. Go from the one tip of the star all the way onto your battery. So this is what it should look like. It's going to go right on top of that battery. And in fact, it should be able to go just like that. Flip open and close, open and close. But our circuit is not complete just yet, because for a closed circuit, we can't have any spaces, and we do have one space right here at the tip of our star. And that's where we're going to put our LED light. So pick a color, any color. I think I will choose red. You might not have a red one, but you might have green. I don't have green. We will complete our circuit using the LED light on the gap, because we need the electrons to be able to flow from the very negative side of the battery, which is right here, all the way around to the positive side. And to create that, we're going to make a bridge with our LED light. So, do you guys remember which one is a negative pin or leg and which one is the positive? If you don't remember, that's fine. I have it written right here on the instructions as well. The shorter leg is the negative, the longer leg is the positive. Fingers crossed, I'm going to test this out to make sure that I have the right side. So you'll be on a flat surface, but I'm going to kind of hold this up. I'm going to pull my pin slightly apart so they make kind of a upside down V shape. And I'm going to do the positive right here, negative right here. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me move my finger. It is lighting up. So that means I've closed my circuit. If yours is lighting up, you can go ahead and tape it down. If yours is not lighting up, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to check to make sure that there's no gaps in your copper tape, that your battery, the bottom side, is touching the copper tape on the blue circle, and the copper tape is touching the top part of your battery as well at the end of your circuit. If that still doesn't work, you're going to flip around your LED light, because as you can see, if I have my LED light on the wrong charges, it won't light up. But if I just flip it around, twist it a little, and I have it on the right charges, it should light up. Let's see if you guys can see. It's hard to hold it and have it light up at the same time, but I think I can do it. Let's see. Let me move my hands around this way. I gotta make sure my battery is connected too to my circuit. So my battery's connected, and then my LED light right there. There it goes. As you can see, the little red light that keeps blinking on and off. I'm gonna go ahead and scotch tape that down once it's on. That way I know that it's in the right place. You're gonna wanna scotch tape it right where the pins are touching the copper tape. And I'll show you that in 1 second. So, do you guys see how I scotch taped right over the pins? And each of the pins should be touching the copper tape. This is our star circuit. You can turn off your star circuit by moving the battery off. If you move it back on, your star circuit turns back on and it closes. So to open our circuit, we leave a space. To close our circuit, we make sure there is no space so the electrons can flow all the way around our star through our LED light back around to the battery. So once your light is on, your circuit's complete, and you guys did an awesome job. Now, I left you guys some extra cardstock, some extra copper tape, some more LED lights, and an additional battery. You guys can try out your own circuit shapes, but remember, if you want to create a circuit, it needs to be totally closed. The negative side of the battery needs to reach the positive side using your circuit, and it has to flow through the negative side of your LED light to the positive side of your LED light. And good luck. I hope you guys create some really cool, fun projects. And in fact, I would love to see your LED creations that you create on your own. So if you have one that you're particularly excited or particularly proud of, you can email me the picture on vbobrov@townofpittsford.org, or just shoot us a Facebook message at the Pittsford Community Library. Well, have fun creating your light up circuits, and have a good holiday. See you guys next month with a cool project. Bye.